Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're zooming in on a genuinely massive topic, the pillars and prospects of American primacy. I mean, with global headlines constantly asking if America is losing its edge, we're going to look at exactly why the US is considered the world's superpower. We'll pull directly from our source material to map out the whole shebang, the history, the economy, the military, and the innovation that built this unparalleled global influence. And crucially, we're going to impartially look at the massive challenges that could reshape our future.
So, Section 1. What makes a superpower? Unpacking global dominance.
Let's start by trying to unravel the core mystery at the center of this explainer. When we look at the world stage, what actually defines the most powerful country on Earth? Is it military strength? That's usually the very first thing that pops into our heads. We think about sheer physical might, right? Sprawling fleets of aircraft carriers, thousands of advanced fighter jets, and a force with the logistical chops to operate seamlessly across entire continents in a matter of hours. It's that sheer capacity to project hard power anywhere on the globe, making sure national interests are protected way beyond domestic borders.
Or, wait, is it having the world's largest economy? Is true power actually found in sheer financial dominance, where a nation's GDP just absolutely dwarfs its closest rivals? Think about a system where corporate titans have so much influence they can single-handedly dictate global market trends, supply chains, even our daily consumer habits. Economic power means having the cold, hard cash to out-innovate, outbuild, and outbuy competitors, using that financial muscle to build alliances and set international trade rules.
Or is it something much deeper that keeps the United States at the very top? Because the reality is, for over 80 years now, America has decisively shaped the global order. It's a multi-dimensional dominance. The real magic? It happens right where these elements intersect. Its currency isn't just money. It is literally the lifeblood of international trade. Its technology powers billions of devices, creating a digital ecosystem that, let's face it, we all rely on. And its institutions directly influence how the world communicates, shops, and innovates every single day. The secret here isn't just one metric. It's this interwoven web of military, economic, and technological supremacy, all acting together as one unified force.
Moving on to Section 2, Surviving the Historical Crucible, the Forge of American Power.
And this brilliantly illustrates that becoming a global superpower definitely did not happen overnight. It was forged through decades of incredible, grinding resilience. I mean, think about it. The U.S. faced a brutal civil war in the 1860s that threatened to permanently fracture the whole country. It weathered the utter devastation of 2 world wars, the profound shock of the 2001 terrorist attacks, and massive systemic financial meltdowns like the one in 2008. Yet, the remarkable takeaway from our source material is that after every single one of these profound challenges, the nation didn't just passively recover. Actually, it structurally adapted. It reorganized its industries, innovated its policies, and consistently emerged economically and militarily stronger than before. That historical bounce-back capability, that is a defining trait of its primacy.
All right, Section 3, the pillars of primacy, the foundations of modern dominance.
So, having survived that historical crucible, what tangible, massive elements actually hold up American power today? Well, first and foremost, it's defense. Today, America spends more on its military than the next several countries combined. It's visually staggering, isn't it? The U.S. share just completely swallows its nearest competitors. That isn't just a slight edge, folks. That is a monumental structural commitment to primacy that utterly dwarfs the rest of the globe. The immense resources poured into defense research, advanced weaponry, and global bases, they create a security umbrella that a ton of allied nations depend on for their own safety. It's a massive physical footprint that effectively guarantees the U.S. has a strategic say in almost every major geopolitical conflict on the planet.
But military might is just one pillar. U.S. dominance is this incredibly complex web. It's home to tech giants that fundamentally control the world's digital infrastructure, from cloud computing right down to global telecommunications. It houses elite universities that attract and basically monopolize top-tier global talent. On top of that, Wall Street remains the undeniable hub for global finance. But perhaps most importantly, the U.S. dollar is the world's dominant reserve currency. So the crucial point is, this gives Washington unparalleled influence over the international economy. It essentially gives the U.S. a financial veto over how the rest of the world does business, allowing it to apply economic sanctions with devastating effectiveness, all without ever firing a single shot.
Which brings us to Section 4, New Global Challengers. The balance is shifting.
Now, this is where we need to take a really serious look at the changing landscape, because America's dominance, it's no longer unquestioned. we're seeing a rapid shift toward a multipolar world. On one hand, China has firmly emerged as a major, deeply entrenched economic and military competitor. They are aggressively expanding their global infrastructure networks and rapidly modernizing their naval and air forces. Simultaneously, Russia continues to actively challenge the Western-led international order through sustained military and geopolitical maneuvering. And look, these aren't just temporary blips or minor diplomatic disagreements. These are massive, deliberate geopolitical movements directly challenging the established global hierarchy.
Furthermore, the very nature of this competition is evolving. It's not just about traditional borders or tanks anymore. The new frontiers of power are artificial intelligence, cyber warfare, and space technology. These are distinctly modern and often totally invisible arenas. And here's why this matters to you. Mastery over AI or a highly sophisticated cyber capability could paralyze a nation's civilian power grid, disrupt global supply chains, or crash financial systems in mere seconds. No bombs required. This kind of warfare easily outmaneuvers traditional military might, meaning the next global conflict might actually be won or lost on computer servers long before a single soldier is ever deployed.
Finally, Section 5. The future of American power. Looking ahead.
Because of these rapidly shifting global balances and the dawn of entirely new technological frontiers, that core mystery we started with has fundamentally changed. The biggest question is no longer how America became the world superpower. We know how. History, geography, and continuous innovation built this foundation. The real question, according to our source material, the ultimate thesis we are left to grapple with as we look to the future is,
Can America remain the world's leading superpower in the decades ahead? I really want this central question to sink in for a second. We've explored the immense foundations that built this dominance, but with rising challengers and the dawn of AI, the future order of the world is completely unwritten. How this question gets answered will dictate the global economy and international security for generations to come. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.